Hi guys, welcome to Get More Songs YouTube channel. Today we are actually going to be talking about real life events and real life scenes. Today we'll be talking about the event that happened in October 1967 between the federal government of um, Nigeria, that's the soldiers, and the people of Asaba, located in Delta State. In 1967 to 1970, there was a war in Nigeria known as the Civil War. It broke out between the Biafrans and Nigerian government, in which Biafran were fighting for their own parts. They wanted to be divided out of Nigeria and also get their own city, their own place, their own country. So during that fight, many people lost their life in Biafra, and it was a tragic event. But coming to Asaba was a city in Delta State. Asaba was a city in Delta State which were not part of the Biafrans. They were not among the Biafran army or anything that has to do with the Biafrans, but they were Igbos. And come to think of it, the Biafrans were mainly Igbos. Like they were Igbos, the Biafrans, and they were located in the eastern part of Nigeria, meaning they were Igbos. And as for people in Asaba, as for the people of Asaba, they were mostly Igbos, but they were not Biafrans. So, and knowing that they were mainly Igbos, they were located around Igbos. Like they were surrounded around Igbos, the Igbo people, like Onitsha, Anambra, and the rest. And what separated Anambra and Delta State, Asaba, was the River Niger. Therefore, they were located in the western part of the River Niger. So in October 7th, 1967, military broke into Asaba, Delta State. And when they broke into Asaba, Delta State, the Asaba people were happy. They were welcoming them, one Nigeria, singing one Nigeria, one Nigeria, one Nigeria. But the militaries, I don't know if they feel like they were part or they were disguising of to be among the Biafrans, that means to be Biafrans, and they accused the Asaba people that they were Biafrans. So on the 7th of October, that same 7th of October, the mostly boys and men were putting on our culture. When they went to shout one, after shouting one Nigeria, they gathered at the Oba Asowa village square. Yeah, that was the name of the village square, Obe Asowa village square. They gathered there, and the military came there and told them to line up, and they were killed. They killed them in mass. That's why it's called massacre. They were killed in mass. They raped the girls, they raped the ladies. The women were rendered widowed. Like they were rendered widowed. They lost their husbands. The girls lost their fathers. And up to today, the scar is still in the heart of Asaba, because they lost promising young men, promising young boys that would have made Asaba more fun, and maybe better things would have happened. But because of the loss of those boys and men, Asaba still remains in pain. They still remain in pain. They still mourn them. Like, they might not come out openly to say it though, but I think in the year 2017, 50 years ago, 50 years after the event, 50 years after the event, there was a memorial service held to recount all that happened and the dead and everything. Well, up to today, the government have not fully agreed that it was done by the federal government and the militaries and soldiers, but there have been reconciliations between the government and the people of Asaba. So this is the story that happened in Asaba, Delta State, which is termed Asaba Massacre in 1967, October 7th. Well, if you know you enjoyed this content, if you know you want to get more of this story, you can comment in the channel and tell me you need more or we should do more of this. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Bye.
Get 'em, John.